Rockstar gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, go ahead, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Appreciate everyone in here. Let me get in here real quick. What up? What up? Dang, we on the same wave, my guy. I'm looking at film right now. They already got the all 22 film up, my guy. They already got the all 22. Salute, Clay. Another game we could have won. Yeah. What's up, Raw? Appreciate you joining, man. How you feeling, Dougie? I don't feel as bad as I thought I would. Offense looks good. Yeah, and again, like Jeff R, it's not so, there's positives, there's negatives. Again, this also could be an episode that's an overreaction by me, but it's just something that Doug has put into my head, especially the first part of this about is Evero the issue. And it's really, we're going to really break down that defense today. All right. Break down that defense today. Looks like we're gotta strip this thing, start over again. We'll see. We'll see, Jeff. We'll see. The defense, really, I think the offense, again, I don't think we got to do anything to the offense. You look at Andy Dalton right now, Jeff R. You figure out who a guy can be in the next, either this draft or the next draft. I hope they kind of go towards the next draft and they try to rebuild this defense up this upcoming off season and in free agency and of course the draft. I hope that that's what they do with this defense. I hope that they go out there and find those guys that they're looking for, in this next coming draft class. That's what I'm hoping they do. That's what I'm hoping they do. I hope they go out. And in anything, they need to be looking at that, but at the defense. But the offense, like if they're going to look at a quarterback, they need to find the guy with Andy Dalton intangibles. Okay, right? They need to find Andy Dalton intangibles, or at least something. And another thing is they need to be looking at these draft analysis on these guys. Are they elite? What are they elite at? Are they ball efficient? Right? Efficiency is key. Are they the size? But this draft class is filled with pass rushers. I think you want to hammer down in this draft class for pass rushers, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, because it is absolutely huge, massive with a shit ton of pass rushers. All right, a shit ton of pass rushers in this next coming draft class. So, if I'm the Carolina Panthers, and we're looking into this next draft class, you're also got to be looking at Travis Hunter. You also got to be looking at Travis Hunter. I mean, that's a guy you just cannot pass up on. That's a once in a lifetime. That's a once in a lifetime. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity for a guy like that. Sorry for stuttering here this morning. I'm trying to get my outro set for you guys. I got a new outro. Well, I got the same outro, but I was adding videos into it this morning, so it makes it more fun once we end the stream. So again, I think I think you got to talk about, looking at that guy in the next draft class. That's just me. Travis Hunter. I think that's a guy you can't pass up on in this next draft class. Anthony Brown, what's up? Supernova, what's good? Salute to you, my brother. We did have a good game Sunday. It was close. If it was Bryce, it would have probably been 45-7. It would have been worse, Chris. It would have been worse. It would have been worse, yeah. We look night and day better in week 3 and 4 than we did in 1 and 2, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Clay, the problem with the defense is they got it for Bryce Young. Chris, can't argue with you there. Great news is this draft class. Yeah. We could double dip. Final boss. We could double dip, but I don't know. We'll see. This is a good draft class. AJ, there's some guys out there. Again, y'all know me. AJ, I'm going to bring the heat when it comes to the drafts. I brought the heat last year, did I not, AJ? We had some good draft content last year, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I had one of the best draft contents on this platform for the Carolina Panthers. Ideas, mock drafts, draft boards. I made you a draft board. Like, we're going to get into it this year for sure. And I'm going to be starting earlier. I'm going to be starting making my draft boards probably in November or December. Probably December. Also, we should re-sign to another 2-year, $10 million. Let him be our quarterback until we find our guy. By the boss, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Again, I want Andy to be. I want someone here. You know, but I want him to be here just because I think he's a good bridge guy for the next 2 years. Now, or even next year, even if they final boss, if they can sign him for another 1-year deal, and then they get the guy in the next draft class, not in this coming draft class, but the next one, I say why not? Even if you can't get him for another 2 years. No, sir, not yet. I'm looking at the film from the first 3 games, my guy. Oh, okay, I got you. I feel you. What up, Marcos? Appreciate you joining, man. Not wrong. James Pierce Jr. took a huge step back from my boards. Yeah. James Pierce Jr. again reminds me of Brian Burns. He's just another Brian Burns, in my opinion, AJ. I think there's guys out there better than him. Just like I think there's like Cam Ward's going to be a good talent, but I don't think he's I don't think he's going to be an NFL quarterback. I just don't. I think he's the best quarterback in college football right now. But I just don't know if I can say he's going to be an NFL quarterback yet. Nico out of Tennessee looks like an NFL quarterback, and he's only a freshman. I like also Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss. I'm high on Jackson Dart. 6'2", 230, 240, big arm. I like him. I like Jackson Dart right now. Defense definitely needs to be our first pick. It probably needs to be our first 3 picks, honestly, Isaiah. Probably needs to be our first 2 at least. First 2 picks, at least. Rams second round picks is looking very good right now. It is. Final boss. It's looking very nice. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm adding y'all's outro in video right now. Shout out to Roundtable Sports. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night, Tuesday, 7 p.m. EST. Be there, be square. Shout out to Roundtable Sports.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans.
Yeah, so shout out to Roundtable Sports. All right, shout out to Roundtable Sports. Am I really drinking the Kool-Aid top 5? Yeah, I am, Doug. And I'm going to tell you why, Doug. I'm going to tell you why today, Doug. I got a little history lessons for you. All right, our wide receivers can't. I mean, we had 5 drops, man. It happens. I'm not going to harp on the drops. We harped on it yesterday. If you take Jack and Jar in the second, sit him behind Andy, that's how you create another Andy Dalton right there. AJ Brooks, fire. Hey, drop the bomb on that one. Drop the bomb right there. AJ Brooks.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
I like that. I like that, AJ Brooks. I like that. Thank you, Marcos, for posting that. That's the link to the NFC South roundtable. Hey, fantasy's still looking good. Hey, Doug, I'm still going to win with Rashid Rice going down, baby, because I'm just that guy. And if you check our Carolina Panthers content creator, I'm smoking 2 growls, 1 war right now, if I'm not mistaken. About to be 3-1. And about to be 3-1 in my other league. So, cooking right now, Doug. Absolute feasting. It's because I know ball, my guy. Master's degree over here. I should get a plaque and put it behind me. All right, hold on. I got to do something real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Give me like 5 seconds here. All right. Appreciate that. Hey, there you go. Getting Chuba Hubbard. All right, let's talk about it. Let's get into this first. All right. I want to be a little bit, I guess I'm going to be a little bit optimistic this morning. I'm going to be a little bit optimistic. All right, hold on. Let me get to some comments. Guys, if you're after these comments, I'm going to get to a few more comments. If you want your comments answered, you're going to have to start doing super chats because sometimes lately this chat's going crazy. This chat's going crazy. Clay, if we go defense this we go after March, May 2026, how much do you think we should give up to get the number 1 pick? I will give up 2 firsts, a second, and 2/3 for Arch. It would be, again, Chris, I want to see what Arch does, obviously, next year. Plus, also, Nico. I think Arch, I don't know who's going to be the better prospect. I mean, Nico looks really freaking good right now. I'm leaning towards Nico because of the mobility. Because in the NFL, you need that. Arch has got some mobility, don't get me wrong. He's probably the most athletic Manning we've seen since his grandfather and then the father of the other 2 Mannings. So I don't know. I'm torn between Arch and Nico. But if we go quarterback in this draft class, I think you got to go Jackson Dart. It would either be Jackson Dart, or I mean, if you're going to use your first round pick, you got to go Quinn Ewers. But if you can get Jackson Dart in the second, like AJ said, I like that. And then Drew Allard at Penn State is another guy I'd looked into too. I think those are the best guys in this. I mean, Carson Beck showed enough for me to not draft that guy against Alabama. Carson Beck is horrendous. Cam Ward looks good. I just don't know if he's worth the first round pick. I just don't know if he's going to be an NFL caliber quarterback yet. Appreciate that, Jeff. Andy Dalton was 35, same height, basically same weight. Stats are very similar, but Dart has an insane completion percentage this year. I mean, Doug, it's one game, man. That's college football, dude. And now Carson Beck, same thing. I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't be saying. Guess you could say the same thing for me saying Carson Beck ain't it. But Ole Miss has never had a good defense, Doug. And Lane Kiffin is not a defensive recruiter. He's a wide receiver, quarterback, offensive recruiter. That's what he is. You know what I mean? That's what Lane Kiffin is. That's what he gets. His talent is not on defense. Our secondary solid. Burrow had a noon open a lot yesterday, but we can't rush the passer. Yeah, it's a huge issue. We need to go D line next draft or linebacker. It's got to be all three: D line, linebacker, edge. Marcos, in my opinion. All right, let me share my screen. All right, let's get right into it. Some Monday morning optimism for you. I think coaches and fans for this for the Carolina Panthers guys are finally on the same page. I think week 4 showed a glimpse of hope. But let's be real. All right. Let's cut to the chase real quick. For the past 14 years, I'd say, Carolina Panthers fans, we've been thirsting for something we've been denied really since the John Fox era, if you think about it. And that's just a damn modern offense. We've watched this NFL evolve around us while we are stuck in the Stone Age. You got guys like Sean McVay out there, right? And Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan. They're out there reinventing the damn game. They're winning Super Bowls, building dynasties. But what have the Panthers been doing is they've been flailing. That's what they've been doing. They've been flailing. So we've spent so many years dicking around of this revolving door of coaches who had no clue to adapt to the times. You can throw all the shiny new weapon, shiny new wide receivers, offensive linemen at the problem you want. But none of that shit matters without a modern offensive philosophy. All right? Follow me here. Stay with me. You can have all the talent in the world. But if you don't have a coach who understands how to run a dynamic offense, you're screwed. We've been trying to build this house with rusty tools for over a decade, right? You think about this. Think about it this way. Remember when we all thought a healthy Cam Newton throwing to Christian McCaffrey, Greg Olsen, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel was going to be it, and now all those guys are either retired or gone. And what do we have to show for it? Not a damn thing. We had all the pieces to build a juggernaut offense, yet here we are. We've watched the Panthers sink each and every year that passes with 3 different head coaches came and went, and most of them are just more clueless than the last. And it looks like it's the way too early to crown to Dave Canales as a savior of the franchise, but hell, he might not even make it through. He might not make it through this whole season because of the way things go around here. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but it just seems that way for me right now. Again, this is Overreaction Monday, and we might make this a segment every Monday. Or we're going to either make it Therapy Monday, whatever we want to call it, whether it's win or lose. But I'll say this. The last 2 weeks have showed one thing we haven't seen in years, and that is scoring points. Passing the ball, actually looking like an NFL offense. Canales might not have all the answers, but at least he's asking the right questions. Right? Which is more than what we could say for the parade of clowns we've had on the sidelines before him. Truly. Truly. Like, no, I'm going to put this, move me over here. Actually, you know what? I'll put this here. Move me over here. There we go. There we go. But we actually look like an NFL offense, and Canales might not have all the answers, but again, he at least he's asking the right questions, like, which is more than what we could say again with these other clowns, right? Now, I think let's not get carried away though. I'm trying not to get carried away because the Panthers are sitting at 1-3, and we can't even blame all that on the quarterback, right? Shuffling between Bryce Young and Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton went 1-1 in his stretch so far, and he's doing the best he can with the offense and keeping it alive. But this team has serious issues that stretch far beyond the quarterback position. The defense is falling apart. The offense is literally being held together by a 36-year-old Dalton throwing the ball 40 times a game. It's not sustainable, though, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to understand that it's not sustainable. And everybody knows it, because for the first time in a long time, I'm okay with that. Because the Panthers are in a bad spot. And honestly, for years of shitting the drafts, shitting away the free agencies, that's what got us here. Thanks to your former GM, Scott Fitterer. He's part of that issue. Bryce Young trade, that's another one. It's looking more like a nightmare, especially when you see how it's panning out in Chicago. And let's not start on how many damn draft picks we've wasted on the defense. I've counted it. It's actually 19 in the past 5 years. So this defense looks like Swiss cheese. It's a hard pill to, I want y'all to understand this. It's a hard pill to swallow because we've thrown 19 draft picks at this defense since 2018. And what do we have to show for it, ladies and gentlemen? It's an absolute disaster. Only 8 of those picks are still with this team in some capacity. Whether on the roster or not, in the hospital wing or not. Of the 11 of those 19 draft picks, they didn't stick. Just 5 got a shot elsewhere in the NFL, and only 2 are still playing in the league. 2 out of the 19 draft picks that we drafted since 2019 on that defense, only 2 of them are still in the league. That's embarrassing. We couldn't draft talent if it slapped us in the face. So what's left on this defense? A unit that's given up 8 touchdowns on 9 red zone trips? Is ranked bottom 5 in every meaningful defensive stat. The Panthers can't stop anyone from scoring. And if you thought this season was going to be more competitive, wake up. The only reason we've haven't been totally blown out is because Dalton's been keeping us in the games with his arm, and that's no long-term solution. That's no long-term solution. A season that was never going to be pretty. Here's the thing. We knew this season was going to be a train wreck, ladies and gentlemen, and you knew it too. But there's other people out there that wanted to believe this team was Super Bowl ready. This team we were going to go from 2-15, make the playoffs. We're going to win the NFC South. And where are those clowns at now? Where are those clowns at now? Like, we knew this season was going to be a train wreck, and all you other clowns out there that thought this team was going to go further than that, you don't even know ball. God, read a book. Just read a book. Read a couple. Like, you don't walk into a rebuild with a rookie quarterback, a decimated defense, and a patched together offense, expect to make a playoff run. Like, that was never on the cards. For all that chaos and crap, something important has started. Keep pounding. I see you in the chat, man. I see you going off in the chat. Woods is not trash. Woods is actually very, very good. He was part of the Woods was actually a good part of our defense yesterday, if you want to be honest. He was actually a bright spot in our defense. He has been. He's been a bright spot of this defense. He had an interception yesterday. Woods is not shit, ladies and gentlemen. Icky wasn't the problem yesterday either, ladies and gentlemen. He only allowed that one pressure on Trey Hendrickson, and it was on Icky and Andy Dalton's fault for that interception thrown. Icky, the guy just blew by. Icky was getting him and trying to push him outside. Hendrickson just made a better play. If you watch the play, and Dalton should have stepped up in the pocket. So it's actually a two-way street. So let's get that straight. Woods was not trash yesterday either. But again, well, B. Amos, a lot of teams need to learn. A lot of guys on this team need to learn how to tackle. Troy Hill needs to learn how to tackle. Charles Harris needs to learn how to tackle. Charles Harris is an edge rusher that we signed, a 29-year-old edge rusher that we need to sign. Right? Like, those guys need to learn how to tackle. Charles Harris, Troy Hill, Xavier Woods. Yeah, I'll give him on that play against Jamar Chase. He missed that tackle too. But it's three guys that missed the tackle. There was two guys before Woods missed the tackle. So the two other guys really look worse than Woods. Woods was just trying to make a play for the other two that missed it. And Woods only had a pick, but where was he when Adams went? That's also Mike Jack's fault. But when did Adams? But wait a minute. Keep pounding. When did Devontae Adams go yard against us? He didn't. He got locked down by J.C. Horn. That's why he was so frustrated on the sidelines. What are we talking about here? Do we need to rewatch all these games? Like, guys, rewatch the games before you comment. Rewatch the highlights. I'm tired of people coming in here and saying stupid shit they don't know what they're talking about. Go watch the game film. NFL All 22. Go watch it. Hell, I'll bring it up myself if I got to. We're going to break down this Bengals game. I should have done the Raiders game. But, like, here's the thing. We knew this season was going to be a train wreck. You don't walk into a rebuild with a rookie quarterback. You just don't. Antonio, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate everybody coming in here, joining the live stream, supporting. Feel free. Again, you can comment what you want, but I am going to call you out at the same time. I'm going to call you out on the same time. So, if you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. Again, a decimated defense, a patched up together offense, and you expect them to make a playoff run. That was never on the cards. But for all the chaos and crap, something important has started to happen, and Canales is showing us that this team can compete offensively. Again, unbothered, you didn't hear what I said. I said we knew going into this season it was going to be a train wreck. Didn't say that it's heading towards a train wreck now. Y'all got to let people, again, listen. So just listen. Yeah, again, we got people just commenting and jumping the gun because no one can come on a pod or have a podcast and not finish what they say. But again, that was never the cards because all the chaos and crap, something important has started to happen. Canales is now showing that this team can be competitive on offense. For years, we've been stuck in this time warp, watching other teams basically innovate while we're stuck playing 2006 football. Like, for the first time in forever, this offense looks like it belongs in the NFL. Like, they're calling plays that make sense. They're passing a ball like it's not a last resort. Like, and most importantly, the head coach actually seems to get it. The offense is structured in ways that fits the players we've got on the roster. That's a massive leap forward. It's not pretty, but it's progress. It's going to be a long and ugly season. There's going to be a lot of ups. There's going to be a lot of downs. The Panthers are just not built to win right now. There's too many injuries, too thin on talent in some areas. They've made too many bad decisions in recent years to realistically contend for anything meaningful. But the fact that this offense is no longer a total joke, that's something. Like, Canales has inherited a flaming dumpster fire of a team. Right now, he's doing what he can to at least make it interesting. And if this is what he can do with scraps he's been handed, I'm damn curious to be able to see what Dave Canales can do when he's able to build things from the ground up. That's what I want to see. Let this guy get a team together that he builds. Look, and again, we've got a long road ahead. The Panthers aren't anywhere near being fixed. There's no guarantee. Canales is the guy to lead them back to glory for the first time in a long time. We've got an offense that looks like it belongs in 2024. That's progress, in my opinion. That's all I wanted this year, honestly. It's the most optimism Panthers fans have had in a while. It's been a long, dark tunnel. But if Canales keeps this up, we might just start being able to see a little bit of light at the end of it. And so, yeah, this season's going to suck, but at least for once, it looks like we're moving in the right direction. That is something we haven't been able to say in a long damn time. That's all I'm saying. So it seems like we're finally on some type of page, and it seems like with the coaches and everything are on the same page. But if you want to talk about what the hell is wrong with this defense, well, we're going to break it down. We're really going to break it down. Let me see if NFL All 22 is up. Because I don't know if I can pull. I don't know if it's all up yet for the replays yet. Let's see. I don't know if it's up yet. Like, if I want to do the replay that I want to be able to do, because you can't do. YouTube will take down the highlights if I do the highlight way. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see if it pulls up. All right, there it goes. Now let's see if they got it. I don't know if they've got the. No, that's the full game. End zone. I don't know. Well, wait, this is from the end zone. This is from the sideline. Oh, okay. Well, we can do it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me click on this real quick. Let me go to NFL. Yeah, let me go to watch. Let me go to NFL Home Plus. Let's see if they got it. Unbothered, yes. I do like Dave Canales. Now, I don't know if they have the replays. They do have it in this form. I had it. They do have it in the coach's form. But it just only goes through each section. I don't like that. You see this? So it just goes by sideline for each play. I don't know if I want to watch it like that. All right, let's move on. Well, yeah, let's just move on. We're going to get into the defense. Let me pull up PFF. So, as of right now, this is what our defense looks like. At least from a PFF standard. But let's make sure we put it in the regular base, the 3-4, because that's what we really need to talk about. This 3-4. All right. So here's the thing. All right, and I want to go back to this comment by where was it? There was a comment by Blue Magic Dragon. All right. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you guys. I'm going to be honest with you, and we're going to break it down from a personnel level to a coaching level to the scheme level to the real problem, basically. We're going to break it down. So what the hell is wrong with the Carolina Panthers defense? Because that's part of the poll question of the day. That's part of the Q&A of the day. Let's not sugarcoat it, ladies and gentlemen. The Carolina Panthers defense, whether you like it or not, is a dumpster fire. This unit is supposed to be decent. This was the unit that was supposed to be the bright spot, which they were last year and what they are not this year. It's crazy that we go from, and again, part of it is the fact that we did give a lot of defensive talent away, traded talent away to bring in talent on the offense. So I agree with that. Chris came in here and said that. So it's hard to deny that because that's what they did, right? So again, you were hoping that this defensive unit would still be at least decent with Evero as your defensive coordinator, because we've been able to see what Evero does even with shitty talent. Okay. All right. So again, he's been able to take shit and turn it into gold. But what the problem is that we're not even keeping ourselves competitive enough in this game when our offense is. It's kind of funny how those tables have turned. They're getting ran over every single week. Like they forgot how to play ball. So what's the problem here? Is it the players? Is it a scheme? Is it Evero? Is it because, like, what is it? Because right now it's a disaster. So is this on Evero? Like, let's answer that question first. Is it on Ejiro Evero? Evero came in with all this hype, right? He was supposed to be this guy with all the answers after 2 seasons and he's what? This is his second season here? Third season? I think it's second. Second season. And it's pretty clear he's still searching for them. Evero's scheme, it's a damn Rubik's Cube. Let's be honest. Like, that nobody on this team is able to solve, because right now, if you look at it, he's running a complex hybrid 3-4 defense. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to put it in layman's terms so people that maybe don't understand. It demands that smart, fast, disciplined players on every level. So guess what? We don't have that. We're playing chess with guys who can barely play checkers. The defense is disjointed, and Evero has I don't know if he refuses to adjust, but he hasn't adjusted. So the Panthers have missed assignments, bad communication, and clearly are unable to execute this so-called sophisticated scheme, because that's what it is. It's a sophisticated scheme. Evero's not working with all pro rosters, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And at some point, you've got to realize that you can't run a rocket science level defense with a roster that barely can understand the basics of algebra of that defense. Evero's biggest issue here, and I don't know if it's his stubbornness, because it does feel that way, but he's not making good adjustments. I'm just going to say that. It's time to simplify things, because he's out here running this thing like a playbook is like it's gospel. Like, newsflash, when your defense is getting torched week in and out, you might want to change things up. I understand that injuries aren't helping either. But also, again, can we blame the personnel? Because we can. Because, yeah, the scheme is a mess. But let's not let the players off the hook, because on the talent level, on this defense is straight up disappointing. You lose Brian Burns. Okay? You lose Frankie Luvu, right? You lose Jeremy Chin. You trade away Dante Jackson. You traded away Brian Burns, right? But you lose Frankie Luvu to the Commanders, Jeremy Chin to the Commanders. J.C. Horn has been absolutely his PFF grade, I don't think really shows what's going on the field. He's been a shutdown corner. But the issue is he's always been injured, and it doesn't matter, if you can't stay on the field, but he is right now. Mike Jackson looks good to me. But the pass rush does not exist. If Clowney isn't getting to the quarterback, no one else is. But there's nobody else on the other side to help him, and Charles Harris certainly isn't either. The interior defensive line is decimated with injuries. You got Derek Brown, your best player on the defense, out for the year. But these guys are getting pushed around in the run game like they're on skates. So you might as well put up a couple of cardboard cutouts, because it's just about as effective. The linebackers, they're about as reliable as a car with no gas. Shaq Thompson's injury sucks. We don't know what the extent of it is yet, I don't think. I haven't heard anything yet. Josie Jewell also went down yesterday. Well, I don't know the extent of his injury, but it doesn't sound like they're both going to be – sounds like they're both going to be out for, I wouldn't say a significant amount of time, but it doesn't seem like it's very – it's still going to be a couple weeks. So even before he went down, he was playing well, but he wasn't playing elite. Yeah, and like Cyburn said, Jewel's been up and down. So it's just been this revolving door of mediocrity. Like, they can't fill all these gaps, and they can't tackle, and they sure as hell can't cover. And the secondary, they're not on the injury report too bad, besides Jordan Fuller. But still, some of this part of the secondary is still getting cooked. We saw that yesterday. Like, J.C. Horn's doing his thing. Mike Jackson's doing his thing, but there is that time here and there where Mike Jackson does get burnt. The safeties have been inconsistent, not reading coverage correctly. Communication's a little bit off still in that secondary still. We saw that against the Saints. one of the first plays of the game with Derek Carr, Rashid Shaheed. That was a perfect example of bad communication. But we saw the run game against the Chargers. We saw the glaring holes there with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards running it down our throats. Again, this defense right now looks like they're auditioning for a reality show on how to get burned deep and how to get burned in the run game. But again, the scheme isn't working. Because I want to get back to the Evero scheme because, honestly, it's part of the problem. The 3-4 defense he's running relies on disguises, exotic blitz packages. It's also tight coverage on the back end that he's also running. Here's the kicker. None of that is working because the players can't execute it. You need your front seven to create pressure without blitzing. But the D-line can't win one-on-one attempt matchups because you need your corners and safeties who can lock down in man coverage. But our secondary is getting embarrassed by every decent wide receiver they face. Evero is stuck running a defense that requires playmakers at all three levels. And frankly, the Panthers don't have them. So it's time to face the facts. The scheme is too damn complicated for what we got going on in Carolina. And Evero keeps banging his head against the wall with this defense. Nothing's going to change except the score on the scoreboard. And it's probably not going to be in our favor, ladies and gentlemen. But let me say this. The 3-4 sucks. It works if you have a true nose tackle. It works if you actually got outside edge rushers. It works if you actually have got decent interior linemen that can fill their gap, linebackers that can fill their gaps. But Evero is trying to fit a square peg in a round hole with this 3-4 defense. It's not working. The personnel doesn't match the scheme. It demands plain and simple. The Panthers need to ditch the experiment and go back to the 4-3 defense. Why? Because at least in the 4-3, you're putting your best players in better positions to succeed. Plus, also in a 4-3, your edge rushers can be more explosive. That way, that's what they're meant to be. And guys like Clowney, you don't want to be dropping Clowney back into coverage, right? He's not a guy that's going to do that. He needs to be going after the quarterback. That's what Clowney does best. That's what he does best. Bomb drop by Marcos. Yes. Phil Snow's defense was better. Phil Snow's defense was better for the personnel we had. You should never be putting a guy like DJ Wonnum or Jadeveon Clowney back in coverage. It's not going to work, man. They're not guys that are supposed to be dropping in coverage. That's not how they play ball. This is why I'm talking about Evero's defense is suspect, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I brought this topic up today, because it is suspect. It's suspect. It's very suspect. Let's not forget, a 4-3 allows the Panthers to beef up that interior line with big bodies right in the middle. Right now, we're getting destroyed in the trenches. That's because we're trying to get cute with this 3-4 front that does not suit the personnel. So what is the real problem, ladies and gentlemen? What's the real issue? I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's everything. on the defense. The defense is just an absolute dumpster fire right now because of bad coaching, because of flawed scheme, because of roster that is dealing with injuries, and really is just not that good. I think our secondary is actually pretty damn good, actually. Besides the linebacker core, Shaq and Josie, they're all right. But edge and D-line, without Derek Brown, what do you got? Because without Derek Brown, you got nothing. Evero's trying to do too much with too little. So he's overcomplicating things. And the players aren't stepping up. And so missed tackles, blown assignments, they're just flat out getting pushed around. And that's the story of this defense. Sure, injuries have hit hard. Again, I get that. But let's not pretend that's the only issue here. We've got to put some context on everything when it comes to the NFL, right? Like, even when the team was healthier, we weren't exactly world beaters, ladies and gentlemen. Like, the defense has been underperforming from the start, and it's because the pieces just don't fit together. The depth is non-existent. And the so-called stars aren't pulling their weight, okay? So the bottom line here is the Panthers defense is broken, okay? It's broken. There's no magical fix. It's going to take a complete overhaul, both coaching philosophy and roster construction. Evero needs to swallow his pride or whatever the issue is and switch this defense back to 4-3. Now, are they going to do that mid-season or after 4 games? Probably not. But it's not. Here's the thing. It's not flashy. It's not complicated for the 4-3, but at least it plays to the strengths of the few players we actually do have on this roster. Again, I still think that you could make a switch, but I don't see them doing that, and it probably isn't really a smart move to make the switch because then you're having to change the whole playbook up. But again, I still think, let's say we go into next year and Evero's still on this team. If he sticks with this 3-4 nonsense, I think we're going to keep getting embarrassed week in and week out, even if our offense is able to keep us on the field. Because they need to stop playing, like, the players also need to stop playing like scrubs, though. Like, they should know that they know their assignments. They should also be able to do it. Like, you can't keep missing tackles. You can't keep blowing coverages. And then just somehow expect to stay in this game. Like, it's time for guys to start stepping up, or the Panthers are going to stay stuck again at this bottom of the NFC South. Now, let's get into another topic. Like I said, top 5 running back in the NFL right now. What does that say? 5th out of 57 halfbacks? Hello. Andy Dalton, 5th in the NFL after 2 games. Fifth. Receiving grade, 18th among halfbacks, 7th in the run grade, offensive grade, 80.3. Let's just cut the bullshit. Chuba Hubbard right now is that guy. You heard me right. Chuba Hubbard, the same dude who was once viewed as a solid backup, has leveled up to being one of the best running backs right now. I think he's one of the best running backs right now in the NFL. Top 5 he is. Even PFF's got him ranked top 5 right now. You might be rolling your eye. Some of you might be rolling your eyes. Some of you might be like, this guy's an idiot. I'm going to break down the numbers. We're going to break down the tape tomorrow, the impact, everything. Like, this guy went from backup to beast mode. Okay? First off, let's talk about nobody saw this coming. All right. This guy started his career as Christian McCaffrey's backup, which basically meant he was living in the shadow of one of the best of all-purpose backs probably in NFL history. And when he got traded, when McCaffrey got traded, people figured Hubbard would just be part of some running back committee that would struggle to find its identity. And it did for a minute, but Chuba sees his damn moment. And he did it last year. And Hubbard is no longer a plug-in guy. All right, for a couple of carries, while the starters rest, right? All right, he's become the focal point of the Panthers offense. And frankly, he's carrying this team on his back most weeks. And that's because someone has to do it. And the quarterback play has been suspect at best due to when Bryce was in, but obviously Andy Dalton leading the way. That's a total different story. Now, the O-line is, I think, solidified at this point. Some people, I think, are questioning Ike Ekwonu. I think I've seen enough out of Ike. But here we are. Chuba breaking off big runs, consistently drag this offense forward. Like, the numbers don't lie. First off, let's get into some cold, hard facts. Chuba Hubbard right now is putting up top tier numbers. He's doing it without the benefit of a high flying offense like San Francisco's or the Dallas Cowboys or Philadelphia Eagles, right? Those types of high flying offense. Like, Hubbard's is behind a great offensive line now, so got to give him that. Last year, this offensive line was more like Swiss cheese. Okay? Yet he's turning this elite level production, and I'll say this. Look at the rushing yards per game. Look at his yards after contact. Hell, look at his ability to pick up those tough yards in crucial situations when the passing game is busy being irrelevant. Chuba has a combination of speed, vision, toughness that has him consistently getting those 5 to 7 yards chunks, even when the defense knows the run is coming. And that's the sign of an elite back, in my opinion. Getting it done when everyone knows you're getting the ball. If you want to get all analytical about it and look at his efficiency metrics, yards per carry right now, he's averaging. See if we can get it on here. Right now, he's averaging 5.4 yards a carry. 8th in the NFL. Only 1 rushing touchdown. I think he's got 2 receiving touchdowns. No, 1 receiving touchdown. 13 targets, 13 receptions, 84 receiving yards total. Okay? 10th in rushing yards, 16th in carries. Okay? So, again, he's got elite metrics. He's got explosive runs, missed tackles, plenty of those. Like, Hubbard's out here making defenses, to me, look silly every week. In an era where running back position is often devalued or seen as an interchangeable. Like, Hubbard is out here putting top 5 production on a team that, let's be honest, is probably still bottom 5 in almost everything else. Like, again, this guy is versatile. It's another thing that people don't put respect on his name is that he's not just about running the damn ball. In today's NFL, if you can't catch passes out of the backfield, you're just a dinosaur waiting to extinct. And Chuba Hubbard, he's that modern prototype running back that you want in the NFL. He's not just a grinder between the tackles. He's also dangerous in the passing game. We saw that in the Raiders. Raiders game was where he showed it more than against the Bengals. But his hands are now reliable. They were questionable when he first got here. He's a nightmare for linebackers in space. That's another thing. He's also shown his ability to turn short passes into big gains, giving his quarterback a much-needed safety value when everything else is falling apart. Like everything we're seeing now from that Oklahoma State product is what we're seeing now. Like Hubbard's quick enough to bounce outside, turn what should be a loss into a decent pickup. We've seen that. So the versatility he brings, that's what makes him a weapon on all 3 downs, which exactly is why he's in the conversation for me as of right now for being a top 5 back in the league. Because who's better right now? All right. You could probably still say Christian McCaffrey if he wasn't injured. Derrick Henry right now looks like it. Saquon Barkley. Right? Jonathan Taylor, maybe Bijan, those guys. James Cook. Right? But I mean, I feel like, Christian McCaffrey before the injury, Nick Chubb before the injury, sure. Saquon when he's not in the medical tent. But after that, you probably could maybe say some guys if you want to. Jonathan Taylor, for me, has been MIA. Austin Eckler's, his time's kind of running short. Dalvin Cook fell off the face of the earth. He used to be a guy that was top 5, top 10 every year. But again, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, those are guys that are definitely talented, right? And they're talented as hell right now. James Cook, like I said, but they're still guys in the league that are figuring it out. Like, you can make a case, I still think, right now. We're just talking about right now. We'll see as time goes on. But Chuba's out here delivering consistent production every single week. And on a team where the defense knows damn well he's one of the threats. Right? If you're still doubting him, go ahead, name the running backs you take over Hubbard right now. Not based on hype, not based on past performance, based on this season. Because good luck. You're going to come up short right now. Because there's only 4 other guys in front of him, according to PFF. But if you take, if we're talking about the eye test on this guy, right? Let's talk about the eye test because numbers only tell part of the story. But when you watch Hubbard run, it tells me he's not one of the most dangerous backs in the he's not one of the most dangerous backs in the league right now, but his combination of burst and power is rare. And he's got this instinctive ability to find the hole. He hits the hole hard, pause, and leaves defenders gasping for air. Okay? When you see him bounce off tacklers, turn what should be a 3-yard gain into a 10-yard run, you're watching one of the best backs in the league at work right now. He's not just doing the basics, ladies and gentlemen. He's creating yards where there shouldn't be any. And don't even get me started because he was doing that last year, even with a shittier offensive line. And Achilles injury for Shaq. Shaq out for the year towards Achilles. Shaq them. That just tells me that Shaq Thompson will not. Oh, we'll talk more about that. Let me finish. We'll talk about more about that. We'll talk more about that. But he's out here creating yards when he shouldn't be. Yeah, real wide. We'll talk more about it. And don't get me even started on how good he is in open field. The dude has some serious wiggle to him. Okay? Like, he's not afraid to lower that shoulder, run over someone if he needs to. All right? So the workhorse mentality, man, that's what he is. That's what Chuba Hubbard had. It's another season where Hubbard's or this is another reason why Chuba Hubbard is a top 5 back for me right now. It's because of the mentality too. Because this is an era where so many backs and players alike is either injury prone or getting rested consistently. Fighting for Jesus, you took the comments right out of my mouth. Shout out to you in the chat, though, brother. Appreciate you being here. Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button wherever you're watching. All right. If you're watching on other platforms like Twitch or Twitter or X, come on over to the YouTube channel. Make sure you smash that like button. All right. Yep, Doug. That's the end of that. Hubbard is a guy who can handle, I think, also full workload. Okay? Like, and then some. Like, he's got the stamina, the toughness, the durability to be a 20 carry game guy. Right? Like, not every back in today's NFL can say that. In fact, most can't. Like, let's be real. He's had to earn everything he's got here in the NFL, and Hubbard didn't come into the league with a ton of fanfare. He wasn't a first-round pick. He wasn't hailed as the next big thing, but now he's playing like one of the best backs right now in the league, and he's doing it on a team that needs him to be that way. So bottom line for me, put some respect on Chuba Hubbard's name. It's time to put some respect on this guy's name. He's earned it week after week. He's proving that he's not just some fill-in back, or he's just riding some hot streak. He is one of the best running backs in the NFL right now, and stats back it up. The film backs it up. The eye test, it backs it up too. Time for Trevor Wallace, yeah. So to me, I think Chuba Hubbard is a complete player who's excelling in a less ideal situation, or has been. And that's what separates him, to me, from the other running back. So next time you talk about backs in the league, make sure Chuba Hubbard's name is in that conversation and put some more context into it when you're picking these guys, because right now PFF has got this guy 5th in the NFL. What's up, Doug? PFF's got him 5th in the league. There's only 4 other guys better than Chuba Hubbard right now. Just saying. So Chuba Hubbard's name in that conversation, because whether you like it or not, he's earned his spot at the top 5. And if you don't agree, well, that's on you. I had to tell my boy Doug, though. All right, let's go get into some breaking news. Shaq Thompson out for the year, obviously. By the way, shout out to PMP for this. This was your offensive line yesterday. Told you, Ike Ekwonu. The one hurry he allowed yesterday was the Hendrickson pressure. Zavala, run blocking, still suspect. Look good in pass blocking. Taylor Mocha, run blocking, a little bit suspect. Pass blocking, again. This offensive line solidified, ladies and gentlemen. So shout out to PMP for that. Hey, Zavala, not too bad. I do not want to know what this is. Let's get into here. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Shaq Thompson suffered a torn Achilles, is out for the year, which is probably going to mean that he's probably that's the last we've seen of Shaq Thompson in a Carolina Panthers uniform. Also, Carolina Panthers brought back 2 players to the practice squad today. They brought in Devin Tompkins, the wide receiver. They also brought in they also signed tight end Steven Sullivan back to the practice squad. Just so y'all know. So This is a huge blow for Carolina. Let's see. This was the first Panthers loss that actually felt promising after we competed. Andy looked good. Would have been better. The receivers didn't drop ball. We need that dealing ASAP. Read my comments, or I'm going to the Real Wide. If you want to go to the Texans, man, feel free to go do so. Feel free to go do so. You know what's crazy too? Shaq Thompson also posted his highest PFF grade in yesterday's game this year. Just some of you that didn't, just in case some of y'all didn't know. Just in case some of y'all didn't know. So Shaq Thompson's out for the year with a torn Achilles. That's brutal. So I guess this is the end of Shaq Thompson's career. I guess that's the end of Shaq Thompson's career. Unfortunately. Let's see what Real Wyatt's saying here. Honestly speaking, the Shaq injury doesn't hurt as much as Given has already lost Derek Brown for the year and all the other injuries the rest of the defensive players that have left. Yeah. I'll just say this. Again, this Carolina Panthers defense can't catch a break. This guy goes out, tears his Achilles, week 4. I think this is just another gut. To me, it still stings a little bit because it is a gut punch. You got this guy finally back on the field after going through a fractured fibula last year. And the one that kept him sidelined, that was the one that kept him sidelined. Yet another dumpster fire this season for the Panthers. He manages to fight his way back, starts the 4 games. No more Jeremy Chin, no more Brian Burns, no more Frankie Luvu, Derek Brown, Shaq Thompson. Who would have thought JC Horn would be the last guy standing? I know. Holy shit, all our captains are hurt except you know who. Yes, who must not be named. But here's the thing. This guy comes back, starts 4 games, racks up 35 tackles. Now he's going to have to face a long rehab. That leaves, and then it puts us in a bad spot. This is losing Shaq Thompson. It does hurt because he was the last remaining starter from that 2015 Super Bowl run, I will say. Now he's stuck watching the sidelines again. He's 30 years old. He's on the back 9 of his career. Let's be honest. This Achilles tear is going to be a mess with his value big time. He's in the final year of his contract. And after 2 major injuries in quick succession, his future with the Panthers is probably done, ladies and gentlemen. He has been the anchor of this defense since Luke Kuechly left, I will say, because and you would think a guy like Thompson would be safe, especially with the team going through yet another change in leadership. But it's like the football gods have had it out for him. He's seen coaches, GMs come and go, yet somehow he's still in the plans until now. That is trade who for edge rusher linebacker. We're gonna treat him like he's Baltimore. We're gonna treat him like he's Harry from Baltimore. We're going to treat him like he's Baltimore. But let's be real. The Panthers defense, it's been a mess this season. But again, this does not help your defense. A guy whose leadership experience, I think, was crucial for our defense. That's already been struggling. With him gone, we'll see what Trevin Wallace has. We don't know what's the news on Trevin Wallace or on Josie Jewell's injury. Because again, Trevin Wallace has been a little bit shaky for me when I've seen him in some games, but he also has had moments where he looks good. So right now it's a 50-50 for me. I think for Thompson, what's next for him? He's probably going to go through a full rehab once again on this injury. I think his question in his future coming back here, I think he's probably done. Right? I don't know if they're going to want him back after this, because that puts us in a tough spot for a player who I will say has given so much to this franchise, but I just don't know if I see him next year. Obviously this is another setback, another something that we're going to have to gain some adversity to. Just adding another layer of chaos to another ridiculous season that we're going through. Again, Thompson's injury is a huge blow to him, not just to us, but to him personally. And I think to a defense that's hanging by a thread, like with no clear answers on the horizon. This team's future looking bleak. Fans have to wonder how much more can this franchise take before it completely unravels. Shaq, if I could take a shot for you right now, it's a Monday afternoon. I'm not doing it. I would. So here's a fake one. Here's to you, Shaq. Get well soon. I hope the Panthers bring you back just because you've been here since that Super Bowl run, but we'll see. I just don't see it happening. We'll just see. I don't see it happening. Yeah, he might, Marcos. He might. So. Oh, that's terrible news. That stinks. That stinks. So, I feel like I need to add this into the title now. I think I need to add this to the title now. At least I feel like. Yo, I'm over here. Oh my God. Oh my God. What is going on with my computer? Acting crazy, bro. Oh. Computer was acting nuts. Yeah, real wide. All of our cornerstones are. Well, all of them are gone now. All of them are gone. So it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. So, well, guys, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button on your way out. Hit that subscribe button. Some unfortunate news again coming in about Shaq Thompson. So, again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. I appreciate you guys for all the love and support. Continue to strive for greatness in y'all's day-to-day lives. But I appreciate y'all coming on here and showing me love and support. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Remember, 3 things. Well, actually, it's always 4 things. I always say 3, but it's actually 4. Love you guys. And as always, be safe, have fun, keep pounding. Peace.